In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn this into this so that you can get lots of XP and level up and collect all the loot as well. Hey there, fellow Minecrafters. I'm Full Bump and welcome to my tutorial on how to build a cave spider spawner farm. This is the same design I built in episode 4 of my survival let's play, and if you haven't seen that episode yet, I'll put a link in the description below. I hope you find this tutorial helpful, and if you do, please consider hitting the like button, and if you don't want to miss more of my Minecraft videos, click subscribe and ring that notification bell too. It really helps out my channel. So first, let me show you what you'll need to complete this build. So you're going to need some stacks of building blocks, stone, wood, whatever you want. You probably won't need 6 stacks just because you're building this in the survival world. You're going to actually be digging out a large area rather than building up a large area. So I'd say if you had, 2 to 4 stacks, that should be enough, unless you want to make sure that all the walls inside the spawning room are the same block, the same texture, in which case you're definitely going to need 6 stacks. You're also going to need 6 slabs, doesn't matter what type they are, 2 pieces of glass, 3 blocks of dirt, 3 iron trapdoors, and I'll show you why it's real important that those are iron, 6 oak trapdoors, 3 hoppers, 1 chest, 2 powered rails, 3 normal rails, 2 redstone torches to power the powered rails, a hopper minecart. You're also going to want to have some torches to be able to light up the area, and at least 2 buckets of water. And actually, you really only need 2 buckets of water. So I've got all that stuff in my inventory, and I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to put some placeholder blocks in place to kind of show you what the size of the spawning chamber is, and I'll be right back. One of the things you're going to be sure that you do is you're going to want to light up the spawner with torches all the way around. I find that this works fine. The torches on the side you can actually place, if there was a block right here, you could place the torch on top of that block, but you want to light it up really good. So after you've cleared out all the cobwebs and spiders, as well as lit up the caves around the area to keep things from spawning while you're building, you're going to want to keep the spawner lit up in this fashion. Now, I'm going to remove the torches just so I can place these placeholder blocks to show you what the size of the room needs to be, but make sure you don't do that in your survival world. All right, so I've got these as placeholders to show you the size of the spawning room you need. And if you look, right there in the middle is the spawner. So what you need to do is, for where the front of your spawning chamber is, where you're going to have your kill room, you're going to want to come out 4 blocks from the spawner. To the back, you're going to want to come out 3 blocks. And it's important that way you've only got 8 blocks wide is your spawning room. And that's important because we're going to use water to push the spiders into the kill area. So from the front, you're going to also want to come out 4 blocks from the side. So your 5th block in the sides and in the front is going to be the wall. And your 4th block in the back is going to be the wall. You're also going to need to dig down 4 blocks deep all the way around from the bottom of the spawner. And you're going to want to make sure that you've got 4 blocks above the spawner all the way around. Basically, you're just going to dig out one big area that's shaped like a cube, and that's going to be your spawning chamber. So I'm going to jump into a time lapse and build those walls real quick. And if you're building this in your survival world, you're actually going to probably be digging out more blocks than you are placing walls. All right, so real quick before I put the roof on this, you can see that the front side here is 4 blocks out. The left side is 4 blocks out. The right side is 4 blocks out. And the back is 3 blocks out, all from the spawner. And now when I put the roof on, it's going to be the 5th block from the spawner. And then before I finish putting on the roof, I'm just going to hop in here, break out the temporary blocks, and put the torches back on the spawner. So I'll be right back. All right, so just for visual purposes, I wanted to leave the roof off a little bit just so you could see. I've got all the torches on the spawners. I've marked the front of the spawning chamber where I'm going to put my killing room. And so I'll show you how we do that first. But I wanted to just get a sense of what this looks like. Again, you can see the measurements earlier in the video. Also, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the water in. So you're going to get your 2 water buckets. And at the back of your killing chamber, so the side that's the wall's 3 blocks from the spawner, in each corner, you're going to put a bucket of water. And it's real important that you see this pattern, that on this wall, it comes all the way up and touches that block. On this side, it touches that block. And then you've got sort of this pyramid configuration right here. So now that that's done, I'm going to jump up here and finish off the ceiling. All right, so next you're back in your spider spawning chamber, and you can see we've got a little spider up there. So do try and keep this well lit, but don't spam it with torches, because you're gonna have to come in here once everything's built. You're gonna have to remove all of these torches and get out before the spider stops spawning. And the more torches you have, the harder that's gonna be to do. So you look at the water like this, and you see this block right here, which I just busted out. Let me put that back. Go to this, so the water's around you, and I want you to look forward. That's where your killing chamber is going to be. So you need to break out all of these blocks by 1 layer. Just the ones that don't have water on them. We're going to come back in a minute and break out the rest, or break out some others to get the water to flow. So now, standing back in this spot, I want you to look at the front of your killing chamber, or the front of your spawner room where your killing chamber is going to be. And I want you to move forward and break out 2 blocks in the middle, and then 2 blocks on the left and the right. And so you have a hallway that starts, that's 3 wide by 2 high. And I want you to go 4 blocks in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can go farther, so you can build your room out, but you're going to need at least 4 blocks. Now on this first row, you're going to leave that completely alone. The second row from your spawning chamber towards your killing room, you're going to bust out. I want you to go down 4 blocks. And at the very bottom on the end, I want you to break out that one. I want you to break out that one. So 1 row, second row in, 4 blocks deep. And then on the ends of the bottom one, break out each one. And I'm going to dig out the rest of this just to make this a little bit easier. You'll probably want to do the same when you're building this in your survival world. But we just need a little bit more room to maneuver. All right. At the bottom here, grab your redstone torches, and each of these little cubby holes that you dug out, you put 1 redstone torch on each side. Then you can fill up the 3 blocks in the middle. Those are going to end up powering our minecart that runs across the top of the hoppers. Next, I want you to put a chest right in the middle like this. So you've now got this as 3 blocks deep, 2 blocks wide, and of course 3 blocks across. And you've got a chest right in the middle like that, and your spawning chamber's there. Then grab your hoppers, hop down here, and you want your first hopper to go into the back of the chest. So hit shift, click on the chest, and then you want the hoppers on the sides. Make sure these are pointing into that hopper. So I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. And that way these 2 hoppers on the sides flow into the middle hopper, which flows right into the chest. Next, on the row above the hoppers, go to the side and break out each block. And grab your powered rails and your regular rails, and in the little pockets there, put power rail on each side. And because the redstone torches are under there, those are already powered. And across the hoppers, run your regular rails just like that, and grab your hopper minecart and put it on there like that. Hop over here, give it a little bump, and it should be hopping across like that. Every time it hits power rail, that stops it and sends it back, and it just moves back and forth. That's what's going to collect the loot from the drops. Next, grab your 3 blocks of dirt and put it right across the top. Now, the thing about the dirt is it's porous. It lets the loot that falls on top of it go all the way through, and the hopper minecart picks it up, drops it into the hoppers, and it ultimately ends up in the chest. So let me show you over here. I built an example above ground just so you can get a better idea of how it works. So we've got our redstone torches that are powering that block, which are powering the redstone or the powered rails. We've got the regular rails that go across the hoppers, and on this end we've got the same thing. So loot falls onto the dirt blocks, hopper minecart picks it up, distributes it to the hoppers, and it ends up in the chest. So let me hop up here and let's throw some items on here. Let's just do this. And you see how those all, as the minecart moves underneath, they just disappear, and then they slowly trickle into here. So this is a pretty efficient way to do it, and for this type of farm, this is going to be more than enough to pick up all those items. So they just matriculate into there. But I thought this would be helpful for you to see how this looks. This is actually your killing chamber room right there, and the spiders will collect above the dirt when you kill them. Everything just falls right on through to the chest. Oh. And there you go. We're back up to a stack of black wool. So let's head back over here and finish this thing off. We're almost done, actually. So we've got that moving across. Now we can go back and we can fill in some of this. But make sure it's 2 blocks, 1 and then 2 above your chest. You should fill in those like that, like this. And this is actually going to be the hallway that you're going to come down into to collect your XP and to grab your loot. Put ones there and there. So next up, I want you to put a temporary block there, grab your oak trapdoors and your glass blocks, and on that temporary block, put a trapdoor at the bottom and open it so it looks like that, and then remove your temporary block. And on each side of that, not on the dirt, but on the block in front of the dirt, put your glass blocks like that. And grab your slabs and your iron trapdoors. And across the very front row, I want you to put a slab on the top. And then in front of that, this is real important that you use iron trapdoors. Put an iron trapdoor across the top of the ceiling like that. And then next, we're going to come over here, and above the glass, you're going to put slabs all the way across. Just like that. Now this is important. Cave spiders are only half a block high. If you don't have a trapdoor there, the cave spider spawner is going to drop out of the spawner, the water's going to push him up here, and he's going to float up. And this is only a half a block here without that iron trapdoor. So the cave spider will be able to come right out, and they'll be able to get you. The other reason it's important to use an iron trapdoor is you're going to be swinging a lot like this. And if you had an oak or a wooden trapdoor there, there's a chance that you could break it and thus open that up and allow the spiders out. So that's why you want to use iron. Also, because iron requires redstone to open it, you won't accidentally right click on it, open the trapdoor, and allow the spiders out either. So the rest of the oak trapdoors, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on there, just 2 of them. That way I can move back and forth across without falling into my little hallway there. The other reason we're going to use trapdoors is if I'm standing right here swinging at a cave spider, they have a 2 block attack range. And now I'm standing within that attack range. So if I put oak trapdoors like this, and then I can push myself up against the trapdoor and swing away. And because I'm 2 blocks away from them, they can't attack me. And that, my friends, that's it. All we have to do is go inside, knock out a few blocks so that the water flows and pushes the spiders all the way up to that dirt patch. Remove the torches, and we're in business. So hopefully you've still got an access to the spawning chamber in your survival world that's off to the side. So what you need to do before you remove all the torches is go back into the spawning chamber, and these blocks, the last block the water touches except for this one, but these four here and these four here, I want you to break those out. And be careful, the water's going to start to flow and it's going to try and push you around, so you kind of have to hit one of your keys, keep you moving in the right direction. So now we've got all the water flowing all the way up, and see how it pushes everything right up to that trap door, and it flows right into the middle where that trap door is. So any loot that drops flows onto the dirt. Next, we're going to hop over here, and what you need to do is you need to go around and you need to break all of the torches. So I'm going to tower up. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to remove the torches on the walls first. And I'm probably using too many blocks to do this. You got to break these out as you go. You got to be quick now that it's dark. They're going to start to spawn. To get your way out, make sure you break that last one out. Fill that in. And that, my friends, you are now done. So let's see how this works. We're going to let a few spiders accumulate in here. So now that the spiders have accumulated, you're just going to step up. You can just push yourself right up against the trapdoor and start swinging. Now, it'd be really helpful if you have a sword that has Bane of Orthopods, at least level 2, as well as, maybe Sweeping Edge on it, and if it has looting, even better. So I'm just going to swing away. And you can see sometimes loot gets stuck on that slab. A lot of the times you just open the trap door, bounce up there real quick, and you can get it. So you just keep swinging away. And once you've kind of gotten your bulk of your spiders killed, you pop down into your little hallway, you walk up to this, stand on the chest, get all of your XP. And then of course you can stand back and look at all the loot that's dropped into the chest. So that's it, my friends. Very simple, very easy. Except for the part where you got to take the torches out in the end to let the spiders start spawning, but very simple. Another tip is make sure you light up as many of the caves around the spider spawner as you can. If those caves are lit up and other mobs can't spawn in them, that will increase the rate of spider spawns in your spawning room. So you'll get more mobs, more spiders to kill quicker. If you don't light them up, it'll still work. They're just not going to spawn as fast because there'll be mobs that are populating the mob cap in other areas. You want to try and go out a good 128 blocks in all directions, up and down, left, right, back, forward, and light up as many of those caves as you can. I hope you like this video, and I hope it helps you in your survival world. If you do like it, please consider hitting the thumbs up, the subscribe button, and ringing that notification bell. In the meantime, craft on, my dudes.